Okay, I am back. This is part 2. So, um, first off, one thing I want to say is I finally did it, turned off the filter, showing you my raw self digitally. But that, I thought this would stop once I turn off the filter because I thought it was a filter problem. I had a default filter and I didn't know till like recently. But so I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn it off, and I did, and that little thing is still there. So I don't know what the fuck to do. I mean, gosh, sorry. My twin brother's here. He's a lot calmer now than before, but try not to cuss. So, yeah. Also, funny thing is, well, first off, let me say that hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing safe. Today is March. What the fuck? March? I meant September 10th, I think. I forgot what day it is, but, I just heard about, that political activist. I don't know if saying his name is going to stir up anything, but yeah, that was a lot. So, but anyways, but I hope you guys are doing well. It seems like this has been a very, very busy and exhausting month for a lot of people these past few months. Not just this month, the past few months. So hopefully the synchronicities and what I'm about to say is going to help you understand why maybe you have been seeing certain things, why you've been drawn to certain music, symbols, even certain numbers, why you've been feeling a certain way. So yeah, just gonna jump into it. So when I first made this video, the part 2, I was actually, I think I got 4 minutes into it, and then I was just like, I kind of wasn't feeling myself, and a part of me was like, come on, you still gotta do it. Like, you can't really just give up just because you're not feeling it in the moment. But during that, my brother was kind of starting to just whine a bit. So I was like, oh no, is he starting to, wanting to throw a tantrum or something again? And I was gonna about to just be like, okay, maybe I should just make this tomorrow. But then I just decided to sit with it and be like, okay, universe, what are you trying to tell me with this? And got a very interesting message, and I'm sorry, I'm seeing that the screen is going dark and then bright all of a sudden. So sorry, I'm not really sure how to fix that. Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of you have been going through a lot of stuff in your life lately. Not just physical, when it comes to work, school, taking care of kids, having to travel, having to get your life together in some kind of way. You may also have, for a lot of you, you've also been going through things emotionally, spiritually, mentally even, and especially spiritually and emotionally for those of you who have been going on a inner work kind of journey to really let go of every fear that hinders you, every traumatic thing that you've gone through, every belief that keeps you from ever fully embracing your true self and reaching your fullest potential. So like I said, a lot of you guys are going through this, and for many of you, you have done the work so much to the point that now, like, if you haven't had confirmation, I'll be your confirmation. You are going to be very successful very soon. You're going to be feeling much lighter than before. You're going to, I heard endearment, so just a lot of you are going to be more, just seeing things with a new set of eyes, feeling things with a new heart. And some of you are already in this. You're starting to feel that everything is getting lighter, everything is like elevating off of you. Relax, Josh. Thank you. So, but a lot of you have been through so many like spiritual battles, just having to deal with your fears, dealing with people that have betrayed you, dealing with people who you've had to let go, learning to really trust yourself, learning to really trust God, the universe, and so it's like you guys have been part of the dark side of it for so long that now that it's really weird, it's like everything is coming to full circle. And the reason why I say that is because it's like now, finally, the light in your life is going to be fully shining through. And you guys have worked so hard to get to that point, right? To really live a life full of freedom, full of a heart full of spirit, or just living through your soul, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Living I wanted to say living la vida loca, but no. Well, I mean, yes, but that's not what I was gonna say. But living life just really like unlimitless. Just really being able to do anything that you put your mind to, put your heart to. And it's like you've been in the dark for so long, and the light is starting to I'm like losing my words, sorry. But the light is starting to shine through, and it's like you're like scared of it, like you're a vampire, right? And it's so weird because for many of you, you were wrapping up the final lessons in this part of your life that, oops, I'm so sorry. part of your life that you have maybe gone through for months, years even, you know, during your childhood. You know, you did this, even if you didn't consciously say this to yourself, like, yes, I am trying to learn to really love myself. Yes, I'm trying to learn how to really think for myself and really live a life authentically. So that's kind of the whole point why you had to go through all this. Because when you grow up, or at least for myself, you know, I've been through a lot of traumatic things, and, you know, I've been through a lot of abuse, and so many times in my life, I've tried to get love. I've tried to get people to like me. I've tried to have all the things that that you kind of need to have in order to have a really good life, like principles, values. But I was doing it in more of a survival way, right? So I was people pleasing. I was sexualizing myself, thinking that that would get me love because, you know, I was, well, part of my life I was groomed to believe that that's how you're supposed to get love, is if you show yourself like that and entertain men in a certain way. So that's gonna be another video too. So many things I want to talk about, but yeah, that's for another video because that one gets pretty dark. But you know, so now like God, the universe, life had to like break you apart, show you that everything that you thought was love, that you thought was the truth, that you thought were genuine friends, a job that you really wanted, was actually just parts of yourself that you've made in order to survive, in order to fit in order to feel like no one can hurt you. So now it's like you're really relearning how to live again, but doing it in a right way, an authentic way. And that's the funny thing, that's how it's all coming together for you, is you are reborn, you know, by the choices that you've made, by your unwavering faith, by you not giving up, succumbing or like giving in to these thoughts, these fears, what people said to you, and believing like, you know what, this, yeah, you're right, this is all I am, this is all I'll ever be. And you know, this is about this whoa this this side of you now, or this new version. Actually, it's the version that you've had all along. I feel like, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I've always believed that you know, when you're born, you're already your authentic self. But you know, as we grow up, we're in certain family dynamics, we're in certain schools, we see certain things, you know, on the news. We hear certain things, we feel certain things, and it, excuse me, it changes our perspective, it changes how we see ourselves, and slowly we start to cover who we are. And usually by the time we are an adult, or sometimes even a teenager, we don't know who we are. And already being a teenager is so complex. Being a kid is so complex. And the fact that that already gets tainted by the people outside of us, you know, the world outside of us, and then even inside of our own minds, because you know, we already get instilled with this fear, the ego, which, you know, personally, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, get rid of the ego, because no, that's part of the human experience, you know. But we have override the ego so much that we think that the ego's our true self. And that's the tricky thing. The ego will make you feel like it's just a master in disguise at being authentic, you know. So this next phase in your life, it's like you're, wow, okay, that makes sense now. Okay, so I remember seeing a vision of actually, let me say this first. So I remember listening to the song called All the Stars by SZA and Kendrick Lamar. And so I was meditating to that, and then I saw like all the stars come together. I think I've said this in the other video, but seeing all the stars come together. But then before that, I saw a heart that was closed up, and then at some point it got opened. And when this heart got open, it seemed like I was like in between the broken heart, or the heart that cracked open. And I, like, it wasn't my parents, but I saw some like random parents and like looking down on me, and I guess I was a baby, because it felt like I was a baby, and I was like in like those I don't have the words for crap anymore, but I was in those little, I don't know what it's called, I forgot, but I was in the hospital basically. And I felt so vulnerable, I felt so raw, I felt so naked, but these two parents were like giving me like lots of love. Like, I didn't know what they were saying, but like I could feel it, right? So it's like you are literally being rebirthed to experience life again, how you were always meant to experience it the right way. And sadly, you know, people don't get to really have that kind of, they don't give that gift to themselves, because it gets taken away, or it, you know, people get knocked down repeatedly, and then they just want to give up, and they do, or they give up, and the cycle of trauma continues, the cycle of pain continues, where someone just takes their pain and just puts it on someone else, verbally, mentally, emotionally, you know, all sorts of different ways, and it just keeps going. But you decided to do something different, and obviously, like, if you're not resonating with this, you'll be like, I really haven't done any of these things, like, you know, why not? Like, this is your chance now to, like, this could be a sign for you to really live life more than what you were always programmed to believe that life could be for you, or what you were taught. You know, and that is a scary thing, because you leave everything. Well, I don't know if that's for every person who goes on this journey, but for me, I've had to leave like everything I knew, and that takes like a lot of unraveling. You want your water?
What?
Here, drink your water. So yeah, oh yeah, but let me go back to the whole piano thing. So as a kid, I would, Josh, relax. It's so interesting. Whenever I make a video, he's always like energetic in some way. So I don't know, I feel like that's a sign. But yeah, so I remember seeing a piano, and it had the high frequency of like the C8 key. I mean, I looked it up, so, and it supposedly it's a C8 key, so I don't know pianists. People who know everything about pianos, like, I don't know. It said it was a C8 key, so correct me if I'm wrong. So I remember hearing this and feeling, relax, Josh, relax, lay down, thank you. So I remember hearing this and feeling very uncomfortable, and I remember God saying, or the universe saying, like, look up the frequency for that. So I was like, oh, okay. So I did, and well, AI was saying like, oh, it's not a typical like frequency when it comes to, in a spiritual sense, but that kind of frequency symbolizes clarity and higher consciousness. So for some of you, you may need to listen to 963 hertz to connect more to your higher consciousness and to really get clear and tune into your soul. Also, for some of you, your ancestors may be helping you out with this, or you may be able to connect more with your ancestors through this. So yeah. So it's funny because it feels like life or the work that you've been going through spiritually, it's like life has been showing you a lot of duality, a lot of ways that your fears, your doubts, people around you have tried to, I guess in a sense, brainwash you into thinking that, you know, things that are actually good for the soul are not. While they are acting like they give you the most love, or this is the most that you're gonna get, and the fears, the limiting beliefs, all of that is acting as if they are the authentic ones. And it's and I guess that's also what you're trying to unlearn, is that what you were always made to believe, that, I don't know, let's say like talking to God, believing in miracles, magic, that you can accomplish your dreams, or even like you can just get the job that you want. You know, you will always be provided, protected. Like, you know, I guess for some of you, you were always made to believe like that's just a bunch of bull, and you're not gonna get there with that kind of imaginary thinking. So it seems like for a long time, and this is really connecting to myself from my own personal experience. Also, I saw 2222. So that might resonate with someone. Excuse me. I had Mexican food. So yeah, that might be resonating with you, and you're like really learning how to let go of your fear this time. I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing in my head or in my mind's eye. It's like you're now really seeing things slowly, clearly for what they are. But it's like uncomfortable, it's fearful, because all your life you've been told like, oh, magic is bad, or talking to God is for woo-woo people, it's like weird. Or like, you know, you've seen certain people on the internet saying all these things and they sound crazy. Or even just like attending to this university, doing this sort of thing is like, it's not what the family does, it's not what your friends do, it's not what true successful people do, it's not what's gonna make you happy, you know. So it's kind of like your whole life you've been kind of gaslighted and like pushed away from what you've always wanted, what you've always believed, and were made to feel, it's like those people that said that to you, your mind that said that to you, society, certain family dynamics, it's like they stole that from you and kind of that's the thing that's funny. You know how when you shine, like, take this mirror for example. So you see how I just did it for a second. Okay, well, I'm like reflecting to the point where it's like shining a light. So these people, your life, like it ended up just being like a mirror. A mirror where these people tried acting like they had the light. They had true love for you. They had your your best interest. They knew what's up. Even though something in you was like, I don't know. Like, you know, so they've tried imitating your mind, even has tried imitating the truth that you've always had in you, but got covered up very quickly. Or when you entered this sort of organization, or I'm even hearing like cult. So now it's like you're really learning to see that you really had nothing to be afraid of. Like the truth, the light that everyone tried to label as bad or label as like nonsense, but at the same time they were trying to do it all along. You know, it doesn't have to be people you personally knew, but it could just be a society or certain ideas, you know, what your mind says. And it's like you're really learning how to unravel all that and see that they were the ones that were actually false. They were the ones that, you know, and let's say it's something at like, I don't know, a typical thing. You want to be an artist, but your father wants you to be a lawyer or wants you to be something that is going to bring in a lot of money. You know, that kind of example, it's so, you know, it's very common. You know, a lot of parents or your guardians, if you didn't have your parents, you know, a lot of them want you to be financially successful. But a lot of that sort of guidance comes from fear-based, from growing up being poor, from having to keep up a certain image to make your family look good and successful, or just a certain person. And you know, but your heart, your soul kind of already shown the light. I mean, you are the light, so your soul kind of illuminated where it wanted to go. And even if your soul illuminated to like a person or a place that wasn't exactly what you wanted, it still got you to where you wanted to go, or the belief that you wanted to embody, or just something that you've believed in. It still got you there. So yeah, so this message is about really not being afraid of your own potential, not being afraid of your light. And it's so ironic, you know, in this world, so many people want to have themselves. People want to be happy with themselves. People want to be at peace. People want to find love. You know, people want power, like true power. But so many people are holding up a mirror and reflecting it, or absorbing other people's reflections, and they don't even know who they are. And everyone's just trying to figure it out, but still feeling that emptiness inside, still feeling that numbness, still feeling that sense of like why isn't this going? Like, why do I not feel satisfied? And it's because so many people, even myself, you know, at a certain point, like, I was trying to find in others. I was trying to live my life through other people's wishes, through other people's desires, through other people's wants, through other people's fears, through other people's limitations, other people's skills, society's limitations, you know. and thinking that, like, well, I have to do that too, because, well, my mom knows best, and my Uncle Jimmy knows best, and, like, my teacher from second grade knows what's best, like, all this sorts of stuff. So it's I feel like everyone's kind of been chasing their tails, but no one has really found their inner peace, their deep core inner guidance. And people just try to look for it on such a surface level that picks at it a little bit, that you feel a little something, but it's not the whole cake, it's not the wholeness of it. And also another thing, if you feel like life is making more sense, but at the same time life is still kind of challenging you in a way where you feel this deep wound, this deep trigger come up, one thing I gotta say is that, healing, as you probably may have heard, healing isn't linear, it's a continuation. It's just something we're gonna have to do till the end of our time. And but also, since excuse me, even though these triggers come up, these people, these ideas, this mindset that may try to stop you, you've been so used to having to kind of like, okay, internalize it and kind of like really untie the knots, really take your time to feel it, to heal it, to heal the most of it to the point where it doesn't run your life, or to create boundaries, to really understand the biggest roadblocks that have been put inside of you. So now it's like you are in this new timeline, you are in this new headspace, you are in this new kind of life reality that you've created yourself, where like anything is possible for you. But it's like now, like there's still gonna be challenges, right? There's always gonna be challenges in life, and you may have some people that still say some things, to you, or your mind tries to like scare you. You've been so used to, like I said, just kind of analyzing it, all the problems, all the roadblocks. But now it's just time for you to keep going, keep your vision centered and focused on what you really want, the feelings that you want to, the reality you want to create in this life. So it's more like I'm kind of getting the images of like ghosts popping out of bushes, but they're really just like, when you look closer, they're really just like cardboard cutouts of them behind a bush, and someone's kind of just putting them up to get a reaction out of you. So you don't need to freak out like before, internally or externally. You don't need to fight every single one of these thoughts, every single one of these people, competition that tries to come at you in that way, where they get you back into that place where you feel like you're not good enough. Like, you've already done the work, okay? So you don't need to worry anymore. At least not to that extent where you really had to sit down with yourself and be like, okay, how am I letting this get in my own way of what I really want, this is not a time for you to shut down anymore. This is not a time for you to analyze every single little thing. Like, this is all about you being very direct, being just only seeing your vision, which is whatever you want. That comes from a soul level, and maybe even some of it just mundane thing, or just like oh, I want to go to a carnival, you know, like I've never been to one, you know, it's always been a childhood dream, you know, just I guess stuff like that that does ignite your soul more, that make you feel more alive, that make you feel like you are really doing something in this life, even if it's as simple as that, or even simple as like, you know, I just want to lay down in the forest and I just want to take a long nap, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna get into the synchronicities. So I've been seeing angel numbers 411, 555, 505, 909, 1414. I said that in the first video. 72, and for some reason when I saw 72 and I saw 7, I saw like someone in the snow, so I don't know who that's going to help or relate to, but yeah. And then I saw 1001, I saw 96, and I saw 1212. So you may have been seeing these numbers, or they mean something to you personal in some kind of way. For you anime lovers, or people who, or if any of you have been wanting to get into anime, definitely watch Erased. That is my favorite anime of all time. Even though I actually haven't really watched a lot of anime. Like I have, but I haven't finished them, so. But Erased, oh my god, perfect. So, and for some reason, I was seeing the superhero that Satoru, I guess, admired and always looked up to when he was little, so that may be significant for you. And then for some reason, I was seeing the game Skyrim. I remember I was a kid. I don't know if I was watching one of my brothers play this game, or I started playing it, but there was one point where someone was on a guillotine. Why can I not talk? Guillotine, and they were about to be sliced, and then I think I saw a dragon, and then that like made me scared. That made me not want to play it anymore. So yeah. Also, the movie Aladdin may be significant to you. Now, I don't think I've ever seen Aladdin. Maybe when I was a toddler, but I don't remember anything about it. But for some reason, the monkey from Aladdin, I don't know his name, came into my mind's eye, so that may mean something to you. Also, Howl's Moving Castle and Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting, favorite movie of all time. I love that movie so much. Also, for some of you, you may need to watch or rewatch the scene of well, just type in like on Google, on YouTube of Sean saying, "What do you want to do?" Because I remember that came into my mind's eye, and I felt called to watch the whole video, and that relates to this whole message. But for you first timers, I recommend watching the whole movie. It really like it makes you want to cry. I cried a lot seeing that movie. Okay, and songs I've been getting are Feeling is Believing by Errol Garner. This one has, I'm not very good with putting songs in different genres or subgenres, but it sounded kind of like jazz. Some kind of jazz type music. It Gets Better by Grizz and Dram. I'm gonna put this all like in the thumbnail. I don't know what kind of music that was, but I really liked it. These are two songs that I just heard the other day, cause it was funny because I was channeling these sorts of messages, and my brother had a song playing on his iPad, and it was something about feeling is believing, some type of lyrics, and I was like trying to look on Spotify what that specific song was, but I couldn't find it. But I found these two songs. So obviously All the Stars by SZA and Kendrick Lamar, Orion Sun, I'm sorry, reverse that, Space Jam by Orion Sun, and Starseeker by Time the Valutor. I'm just gonna put it down. And then also for some reason I saw the like an infinity triangle in my mind's eye, but it looked more like the Adobe infinity triangle. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I hope this helps you in some way. And is there anything else? Oh, also, I've been seeing a lot of hearing and seeing a lot of treasure chests, so I feel like this is God the universe saying like I'm hearing like you're unlocking something wild, so but it feels really good. So maybe something that's gonna blow your mind. Maybe a surprise. So or maybe it's just in a spiritual sense, like you're finally unlocking your whole soul. You're unlocking who you were always meant to be, who you were born to be. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Peace.